Being an entrepreneurial couple can be super challenging, but it can also be incredibly rewarding. In this special Valentine's Day episode, I'm joined by my husband, Kevin Fremon, to chat about what it's like to be a happily married entrepreneurial couple. And trust us, it isn't always easy, which is why we're going to be sharing our top 8 tips for entrepreneurial couples so you and your partner can create a thriving relationship while creating your thriving businesses. Whether you're new to this podcast or you're a loyal thought leader, please make sure you take a time out right now to drop a rating and review on iTunes. I'll be super grateful for you to do this. And let's get ready for this special Valentine's Day episode. It is time for us to talk about love and entrepreneurship. Hey thought leaders, I am back with another episode of Thursday's Thoughts, and it's a special edition because we're featuring my husband, Kevin. Hi.
Hey, Ruby. I'll tone it back.
First
It's going to be a fun one.
First of all, it took us probably legit 5 minutes before we could hit record because we were laughing so hard.
You're not supposed to laugh. You just want to laugh even more. And that was the case.
Okay. So the reason why I'm bringing Kevin onto today's podcast is because it's Valentine's Day.
It is Valentine's Day.
It is Valentine's Day.
Well, when this is going to get released.
Yeah.
But we like to celebrate early.
Do we?
No, not really.
Does that mean I get my chocolates now?
You wish.
But what we really wanted to share were our tips for entrepreneurial couples, because we're both entrepreneurs.
True. And
if we're being really honest, it's not always that easy to be an entrepreneurial couple.
No, it's right full of challenges.
Thank God you said that, because I would have been so alone in that. Yeah, it comes with its own set of challenges. Albeit if there's one person in a relationship who is an entrepreneur and the other person has no idea, I feel like that could be even harder. But we get each other because we're in it together in our own purpose-driven businesses, doing our own thing, but we have a deeper understanding for what we're doing and how we're showing up. And that in itself can cause friction.
Yeah, that's very true. When you get two people just hustling to make things happen, it can cause friction because you're both just going for it. And it takes a lot of time, it takes energy, and it takes energy potentially away from us and what we're doing together as a married couple. So these are our tips. These are the practices that we've been putting in place and or are trying to put into place. And it's exciting to talk about them, share them.
Is it?
Kind of. I'm a little nervous.
Originally we wanted to do a funny one where it's like what not to do. But let's start with this, and then maybe we'll do a follow-up.
For sure.
Episode.
The anti-tips.
Yeah, the anti-tips. Don't listen to us podcast episode. Okay, so the tips. These are our top 8 tips for entrepreneurial couples. If you are a couple and you're entrepreneurs, follow these tips so you can be as happy as us.
We pretend to be. No, seriously.
Seriously.
We're pretty happy.
Tip number 1 is play together. And so, for example, we laugh a lot together. We go for weekly hikes.
It's true.
Together.
Midday dance parties.
Yes.
Dumb dance parties, to be precise.
No, I call them the old man dance move parties. It's like when you take a break in the middle of the day because you need to shift your energy, then we'll just pop into each other's offices and have a dance party. Or when we're celebrating something.
That's right.
Dance party. Playing together is super important because otherwise it would just be all business all the time, and that's no fun.
No, not at all. I think just getting out and getting silly and being weird and just having childlike fun is not just awesome for us, but it's just great in general. As individuals, as entrepreneurs, but being able to have a partner in crime to go out and play with and be nerdy with makes it all the better.
Definitely. If you can't be yourself around your partner, then
You can't be super weird around your partner.
That would be really hard.
Yeah, that would be a terrible shame.
This wouldn't work.
No.
So tip number 1 was play together. Tip number 2, encourage each other to have me time and then be respectful of that me time.
Yes.
Kevin's like, yes, because I need my me time.
No, me time is super important. I've really done a good job of encouraging you, and you've done the same thing of me, of just getting out there and doing our own thing and spending time with, ourselves amidst the grind and the hustle. And, for me, and I know for you too, I think like it's so easy just to work. And, in any off time, it's just like, okay, then we're together, but you don't really get that like self-care, self-fun time in. So that's a huge one for me.
Yeah. And I think it's especially huge because we both have introverted tendencies.
Yeah, for sure.
And so we could be completely happy just
Netflix and chill.
Yeah, Netflix and chill. Whereas like, we have to encourage each other to go out and to make friends.
It's true. Hang out with our friends.
And also just to have that alone time so that we can each decompress and reground and feel replenished just on our own.
Yeah, and I think this really goes not just to entrepreneurial couples, but couples in general, is just to make sure you do have that me time. So I think this is just a good rule of thumb no matter what.
Yeah, definitely. So tip number 3, I love this one. Kevin loves this one. Share your goals and vision with each other.
Yes. Not only share, but make goals and, create your vision together. Not so much like we have to have our own like list together, but going through the process together, I think has been profound.
Yeah, it's been fun. Like every New Year's, we sit together, usually at a coffee shop.
Yep.
Or Cafe Gratitude, and we create our goals, our personal goals, our goals as a couple,
business
goals, so that we have a deeper understanding of where we're at, what we both want for ourselves individually, for our businesses, and as a couple.
Yeah, and being able to share those with each other like at the beginning of the year was awesome this year, because I know really clearly where your mind is at and what you want to accomplish. And likewise, right? I get to share with you, and we can very much be on the same page and encourage each other. And it's inspirational and motivational. You're so motivational.
I love you. Yeah, and then you're just always on the same page and you know where each other is at. And it's so beautiful when you can do that, because then you really know how to encourage each other and how to motivate each other, and really push each other towards what it is that we want.
Yep.
One of my personal faves that we I'm going to share it. One of my personal fave goals that we both always write is, do you know what I'm going to say?
No.
The personal one?
Which one?
Look
awesome naked? Is
yeah,
that the one?
Look awesome naked.
Still working on that one.
Okay, and next. So the next tip is create time for communication. So we all know, if you're in a relationship, you know the importance of communication. Communication is key. But as an entrepreneurial couple, it's so easy to get in the mode of just grinding all the time and hustling all the time, and then decompressing together, but not really communicating. So it's important to actually carve out that time and create that space to communicate with each other, to share with each other, and to really hear each other.
I like what we've been doing is when we would just like say, go down to the coffee shop and just make a planned trip. Like we're going to go down, hang out for a couple hours and just talk and communicate, and having the ability to say, we're going to go to this place and get out of our normal everyday home to do so. Like that to me has made a huge difference. We should do that more.
We should. Let's get you closer to the mic so we can really hear you.
Is this better?
Yeah, and getting out of the house, that's such yeah, because in the house we can get stagnant. You get in a routine. It's really easy to fall into that routine. So getting out of the house, making a point of saying, hey, we're going to go grab a cup of coffee and let's just chill at the coffee shop and talk and connect. And when I mention communication, I mean communication on all fronts, like talking about whatever it is that's on each other's mind, whether it's business, personal, or something that we can both work on together, whatever is on each other's minds, but just to have that space for us to communicate openly about that, it's so important.
Yeah, absolutely.
Next tip. I like this one. We've only done it once.
Yeah, this is a good one.
This is a good one.
When we did this, I was like, we need to do this all the time.
And we're going to be doing it.
Yeah, we are going to be doing this.
Yes.
But this is a game changer.
It's a game changer. Go on work retreats together.
So in my last company, the one thing that we did was every quarter, at the end of the quarter, we would go on a work retreat, and we would actually spend 3 days in a house, Airbnb, and talk about our goals and what we accomplished and use it as a work retreat. And so we brought that into our own personal life, and it was awesome. Where did we go?
We went to Lake Arrowhead. We rented a cute little cabin that had internet, and we would carve out time. So we actually created a schedule there. So we'd say, we're going to work from, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. or whatever it was. So we knew what to expect. And then at that 4 p.m. mark or whatever it was, we'd shut down our laptops and then spend time together. And we got a lot of shit done during that retreat.
Yeah, we did get a lot of stuff done. It was really cool too, because being out of our element really helped kind of create, I don't know, momentum and spurred creativity, at least in my mind. Yeah. And yeah, I really, really love that.
So we're doing another one.
Yes, we are. Yes.
Yes. Perfect. The next tip is, this one. Have your own space in the home.
Yeah. Okay. So we are really lucky. Like, we are super fortunate to live where we live.
We're blessed. Yeah.
We're super blessed. And then also to have, our own office in our home. But it's just being able to go into our own space, do our own thing, and, focus, I think, is like the big, huge benefit of just having your own room to take care of business.
I mean, here's the truth. We have a 3-bedroom townhouse, and it's just the two of us, and everyone else that lives in our complex is like families. But we intentionally chose to pay this amount of money for our home, knowing that we both work from home and we both want our own space.
Yep.
And so it is an investment. There's a lot of couples that tend to go for like the 1-bedroom apartment, 1-bedroom and den, and they squash their energies in one den to try and work together. But I found, from an energetic standpoint, you need space in order for your creativity to thrive. And to have individual space in a home also allows you to have a space for you to decompress and to be with yourself and to meditate on your own, or have your own dance parties on your own if you want to. Or Kevin, he can fart all he wants in his office and leave my office alone. And vice versa.
God. You promised me we weren't going to go there.
No, I didn't. I would never promise that. But yeah, have your own space in the home if possible.
And it doesn't necessarily even have to be a room. I mean, we're really fortunate that we have a room, but just somewhere where no one else is going to touch your shit, and you can come back to it, and it's just how you left it, and you can just claim an area for yourself. So you don't have the luxury. I actually touch your
shit all the time, and I move it by like 1/8 of an inch, and like one day you're going to realize.
And along with that tip, get a lock on your door.
Wait, what? No. Have your own space in the home, okay? Just have your own space. It really helps. Next, learn and grow together.
Yes, super important.
Yeah, and we did this for the first time when we attended Tony Robbins' UPW
Yeah.
what was that, like a year and a half ago now? And it was an incredible experience for us to go through together. And I feel like if I had done that just on my own, or you had done that on your own, we would have like missed out on that opportunity to like elevate ourselves together.
Yeah, and being able to come back and kind of integrate some of what we learned into our daily lives made it way easier, because if you came back and you're on this high and I'm like, oh, okay, awesome. Sounds awesome.
Yeah.
But I wasn't able to really relate to it. It would have deflated you a little bit, and well, I would have missed out. So being able to do it together was an incredible experience.
Yeah.
And that's just one example of what we've been able to do.
Right. And I mean, I remember when we did UPW and we came back and you're like, oh, now I know what you're feeling when you come back from these masterminds and stuff. Because when you're a couple, you want to strive to grow together. Otherwise, what can happen, and this happens in a lot of relationships, is you actually grow apart. And I've seen this even in my clientele, where, you know, couples outgrow each other. One person might be really into personal growth and business development, and the other one isn't, and it's natural to outgrow. So what you want to strive for is growing together. I mean, I was just telling Kevin before we hit record, it would be exciting to even like join a mastermind together, or do some more like work, business seminars together this year, and really be able to elevate our skills just as a couple and as individuals.
Yeah. It would be. I love that neither one of us stagnate, because that's just terrible when you have someone that you love deeply and you're just outpacing them with your own growth and learning. So yeah, being able to just be on the same path and walk at the same speed is incredible.
Yes. The final tip is to end each, why are you laughing?
I like this tip.
Okay.
This is a good tip.
Is to end each day with appreciation. So we have this ritual that we do every night in bed. It's not what you think.
You should never have had me on this podcast, because your mind goes places.
And before we turn off the lights, we share with each other what we most appreciate with each other. And let us demonstrate this in the moment. Kevin, did you want to go first?
Yes. This morning, what I appreciate the most about you is how much you can make me laugh. Like before we jumped on the podcast, us just in the laughing fit was amazing. And yeah, I appreciate the mere fact that we can make each other laugh so much. You make me laugh like that, like stupid face laugh.
What I appreciate most about you is that your willingness to come on the podcast with me, because I love doing things together. I think it's fun. And we get to laugh like this together.
You just hear people listening to this going, oh God.
Those aren't our people. They already stopped listening like 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago.
No, but I love this practice because it's a really good reminder of gratitude, but gratitude for the person that you're living your life with. And I love that we have that practice. And it took a little while, I'll admit, like it took a good month or so to build that habit. You used to always pressure me like, you're forgetting our nightly rituals. You were really like,
I want to know what you appreciate about me. I mean, what better way to end a night? I think saying I love you can become so habitual. Like people just say it and they don't really mean it. And at the end of the night, you really want to end by, I mean, how good does it feel to like end and really feel appreciative of the other person, or really hear how the other person appreciates you, and what they appreciate about you changes every day, or unless you're Kevin, it's always food related. What I appreciate the most about you, Ruby, is the delicious dinner you cooked.
But I do appreciate that.
Yeah, it's nice to hear. I am a really fucking phenomenal cook. Can you tell everyone how good of a cook I am?
Yeah, she's a really good cook.
Say it louder for people in the back.
She is a phenomenal cook.
Thank you. Mom and Dad, are you listening? I feed him well. Yeah, so those are our tips. I'm going to recap them. Tip number 1, play together. Tip number 2, encourage each other to have me time and be respectful of that me time. Why are you still laughing?
I'm smiling for the camera.
Okay. Tip number 3, share your goals and vision. Tip number 4, create time for communication. Tip number 5, go on work retreats. Tip number 6, have your own space in the home. Tip number 7, learn and grow together. And tip number 8, end each day with appreciation.
That's right. Those are the tips.
Those are the tips. What do you think is the hardest thing about being married to another entrepreneur?
The hardest thing, hands down, I think, is turning off, like both of us, like knowing when to literally unplug.
Yeah.
Especially with what we do, being, plugged in, being on the social medias, being, putting ourselves out there makes it harder to turn off. So I think that's probably the one hard thing. And it's not just about being on social media. It's about turning our brains off.
Yeah.
And not thinking about what we need to do the next day or the emails that we need to answer.
Or strategizing with each other.
Or that's hard too, because so much of our life is business. And so like when I want to spur up conversation, it's like, oh, how's this going with your business? So it's like always business talk.
Yeah.
And being able to have some separation.
I agree.
Is the hard part.
Yeah. And what would you say is the best part about being married to an entrepreneur?
I think just having the ability to have someone in your corner that understands the grind, understands the hustle, can really celebrate the wins, no matter how big or small, and understand the energy and effort it takes to accomplish, goals. And just being of a like mind, I think, is the biggest thing for me.
Yeah. Someone to have midday dance parties with.
That too, yeah.
So is there any parting nuggets of wisdom that you want to leave with our listeners today? So specifically around the topic of love and entrepreneurship.
Love and entrepreneurship.
Or or should we just title this "How to Not Drive Each Other Insane"?
that's a much better title. No, I'm good. Those 8 tips, I think that sums it up.
Oh,
sorry.
Okay. Well,
Ruby?
Yes.
Do you have a tip that you would like to leave your audience with?
It's a nugget of wisdom.
A nugget of wisdom that we didn't already go through.
Yeah, I think. So we forgot to mention love languages. If you haven't done the love language test, the 5 love languages, I will link that in the show notes. But doing that really helps us uncover like how we show love and how we like to receive love. Because, sometimes someone says a lot of reaffirming words, but really your partner's love language is touch. So really understanding how we like to receive and how we like to give love. And then just loving on each other a lot. There's moments in the day where I'll be sitting in my office and you're sitting in the next office, and I'll go in there just to give you a hug or a kiss. And really quick, doesn't take up a lot of time. And then you do the same thing where you'll come in here and you'll just be like, stand up, and then give me a hug. And it's like those little moments that don't take a lot of time, don't take a lot of effort, don't take a lot of energy, but at the end of the day, it means so much.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. I thought of a nugget.
Okay.
It kind of hits on a few points, but I think
Okay.
the one thing we do really well, which I really love, is celebrating the little wins during the day.
Yes.
So recently with Amplified Soul Live coming up, and as you've been selling tickets, you'll come in and like, I sold a ticket, and like we'll do a big high five and like have a little like jig.
Dance party.
And it's like just celebrating those little wins, as sometimes insignificant as they may seem, and celebrating together, I think is awesome. It's like one of my favorite things that we do.
Yeah, I mean, even when Kevin's not in the house and say he sells a template pack because he creates templates, and he sells a template pack, he'll text me and be like, hey, sold another template pack. And we have this habit of saying, thank you, universe, right? Because we want to be grateful for what we're receiving. But to be able to do that together as a couple, not only does it get each other excited for like achieving our goals, but like, yes, we can celebrate each other's wins together. Because there are entrepreneurial couples out there who actually butt heads because of ego, and you know, they're actually unconsciously, you know, not really aware that they're in competition with each other, whereas we really want to see each other thrive.
Yeah.
And we want to thrive together. Yeah.
Truth.
Yeah. Truth. Preach. Well, are you gonna do your thing for this
What's
video?
that thing?
That thing.
No,
that
it's for my videos.
Oh, that's for you. Kevin has this thing.
Don't tell him what the thing is.
I'm not going to tell him what the thing is. Kevin has
You have to watch
thing.
the videos.
You have to watch his YouTube videos to see the thing.
At the very, very
It's
end.
not what you're thinking. That sounded really dirty. He ends his videos with this certain thing. So it's not what you think. But you have to watch his YouTube channel. Anyways, for those of you who don't know Kevin and what he does, I'm going to link his shit in the show notes as well. Follow him on all the social medias. He loves Instagram stories now. I think I've created a monster.
Totally.
From like never showing up on social media to now like being like the Instagram whore. I mean, or Instagram story.
I get to showcase all my weirdness.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
He loves it. So be sure to follow him, and I'm sure I'm going to have him back to do a Monday episode more on his area of expertise. You in agreement with that?
All right.
Cool. See, clear communication. So that's it for this episode. If you have anything that you want to, any feedback that you want to share with us, please hit us up on social media. You can find me at I am Ruby, and then Kevin is at Kevin Fremon. Thank you so much for joining us on an edition of Thursday's Thoughts on today's Thought Leader, where I'm challenging you to rise up, speak up, and create a movement, and to have a really fucking healthy relationship.
That's okay? Right. Thanks, everyone.
Be sure to drop a rating and review on iTunes, and check back Monday for a brand new episode of today's Thought Leader. Do you want to do it?
I don't know where it comes from.